Now, and there is a very strong biblical principle over here that obviously you're doing, but it's really about catching children's, molding their minds early and putting seeds of faith in their minds very early, early. Because what does Scripture tell us about this?
Well, two places I would say I hang my Miss Patty Cake hat, and the first place is 2 Timothy 3:15, and
Mhm.
that's where Paul is talking to Timothy and says, "Don't forget that from infancy
Mhm.
you have known the Scriptures,
Right.
and that is what gave you the wisdom that led you to salvation through faith in Jesus." So from infancy, if you look that up in the Greek, 'cause the New Testament,
Right.
it means from the time you're born until you're weaned, so those very early years, and that's when we start giving the Scriptures to little children from infancy. Way back in Deuteronomy chapter 6, in the great Shema, when the Hebrew people said, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one." Then it says, "These words that you're hearing will be on your hearts." And the very next verse 7 in that chapter says, "Now talk to your children about God."
Yeah.
When you rise up, when you lie down, when you go on a journey, when you sit at your table, when, every, all day,
24/7.
be talking to your children about God, about who He is.
Yes.
The word says in the Psalms that one generation will commend your works to another. It's God's desire that we pass our faith on. It was always His plan. And that's why the fathers tell the children and on and on.
Rise up a child in the way to go.
Absolutely, the blessings. And again, in Psalm chapter 8, verse 2, I love so much because this talks about worship in little children. Jesus quoted it in Matthew, and He said, it says, "Out of the mouths of babes and infants, God ordains praise," or makes perfect praise. The Message translation I love, it
Yes.
says, nursing infants are gurgling choruses about God.
Mhm.
And toddlers can shout songs that will drown out enemy talk and silence atheistic babble.
Ah, we need
Toddlers.
our children, don't we?
Well, and
Yes.
that was for me, the assignment to me, that was the Lord saying, who's going to teach toddlers these songs?
Yeah.
And that's where we come in as parents, teachers, grandparents, relatives,
Mhm.
because as we know the Scriptures, as we build ourselves up on our most holy faith, then we turn around and give this away to the little children in an age appropriate package, something
Yes.
that they can grab hold on, something that
Yes.
plants those seeds of faith. And we all know the
With joy
songs.
and delight, I might
Oh,
add too, right? Absolutely. With music,
absolutely.
joy, delight, all these wonderful,
Ab
wonderful energy, everything.
Absolutely. That's why these songs are just they work so well, and I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
There are lots of people creating content.
Well, that's good. And we
Yeah.
want more because we need it.